Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are so excited and thankful that you're here tonight. Please know that whoever invited you to the call must really care about you to want you to know about this technology. We are literally watching it change lives every single week. It's just such a blessing to get to be a part of sharing this with people. And so just know that you are very much cared for to learn about this tonight. So the call tonight will be for 30 minutes. We like to respect everyone's time. We are going to be talking about, like I said, an amazing technology. Can't wait to share it with you all. And we want to start with our medical disclaimer. So tonight, what we will be sharing is for informational purposes only. The products we discuss are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any dis-ease. If you are on medications or have medical concerns or are pregnant or nursing, just like with embarking on a new health regimen, diet, or fitness program, please check with your preferred healthcare practitioner first. And with that, let's dive in and talk about this amazing little patch that whoever invited you must want you to know more about what this can actually do for your life. So this is FDA recognized and compliant as a general wellness product. It's a class 1 medical device, completely non-transdermal. So what that means is there's nothing that's transferring from the patch into your body. Most people are used to a transdermal patch. So, if you are going into your doctor, those are the words you want to use. It's non-transdermal. So what that means is it's not interacting with medications, with injections, with any vitamins, with, anything. It's not going to interact with anything because it doesn't put anything into the body. It's only helping your body work the way it was already designed to. And I'm going to explain that here in a minute. But it's inside of that patch, that little white circle, are organic amino acids and salts in a crystal lattice structure that's reflective like a mirror. I know you can't see any of that because that's all at the molecular level. So just know this is very high-tech peptide therapy. So, but not putting anything into your body. So it's medical grade plastic, completely hypoallergenic adhesive. It has a 96% effectiveness rate. That is jaw-dropping. Okay, so the only comparison that we have that is not even a great comparison, but just to kind of have you wrap your mind around a little bit of what a comparison would be potentially to this would be a stem cell injection. I will explain why that's not a great comparison here in a minute. But when you go in, if you have an issue and you're looking at stem cell injections, what they're going to tell you is we have no idea if it's going to work for you. And you're going to pay thousands and thousands of dollars, and it may or may not work. So I don't even know if the effectiveness, if they tell you 50-50, you have a 50-50 chance, I have no idea. With this technology, it's going to be pennies on the dollar, and you have a 96% effectiveness rate, okay, of turning on a certain peptide in the body that does all kinds of amazing things. That's why it's not a great comparison to a stem cell injection. A stem cell injection is affecting one area or trying to affect one area, okay? This affects multiple, over 80 different areas in the body. The peptide that gets turned on, 80 different areas are now having the availability that they need to work better. So your body works better, revitalized, doing its job better, functioning more efficiently. Okay, so that's why it's not a great comparison, but you're looking at regeneration and renewal and longevity is why you've gone in to have a stem cell injection. This gives you that, and that's just at your knee or at your shoulder or at your hip or your back, okay? This gives you that regenerative effect across the board, okay? Your entire body, okay? That's why it's not a great comparison to, but it's really the only comparison that we have on the market. So, like I said, extremely affordable when you're actually understanding what this does for your body. Extremely affordable. If I was going to put a number to, let's say, again, just using something natural, so supplements, vitamins, purchasing those things to try and support all types of different areas in my body that this could affect very easily, $400+ plus. Okay. Again, much more inexpensive than that. So this is patented technology. We have over 200 patents. There's over 90 clinical studies, and we are coming out with more and more studies that we are coming out with doing on this technology. So you can find all of those at patchtheway.com, PATCH theway.com. You have to click the little button and then enter the passcode LIGHT, and that will then bring up across the top the research and the studies and the patents. So you can click through and look at all of those. I'm constantly encouraging when I work with doctors and they have multiple people in their offices, I'm like, let's run your own office study. Like, let's just see what you all notice. You just run your own little mini study with you and the people here, and just keep track. Let's use a health tracker and let's keep track of what you notice in your body. And 6 months down the road, then let's go in and get some blood work done and let's see what's happening in the blood work as well. So anyway, so that's just an idea for you, but that's what I always encourage my offices to do. There's literally no product in the world that does what this does. So there's no competition. There's nowhere else you can find this. There's nothing else that you can supplement with that will create and do what this does in the body. So let's talk about how it works. It works through a process called photobiomodulation, which is just a big word for light making change in the body. Every time you step out into the sun and the sun hits your skin and your eyes, it tells your body to make vitamin D. And then that vitamin D goes and does what it was already designed to do in the body. You are not getting vitamin D from the sun. Okay. So again, this patch is non-transdermal. There's nothing coming into the body from this patch. It is working on that premise of photobiomodulation or light therapy, where it is using your own body's infrared light. Okay. So when you sit down next to somebody, Diane and I were just talking about how it's cold. I have my blanket, I'm sitting under my blanket. She was in a robe. And so if you sit down next to somebody and that heat is radiating off their body, scientifically, that's a low-grade infrared light. When you look at a movie and they're looking through night vision goggles and they're talking about a heat signature, again, scientifically, that is a low-grade infrared light. Light is heat. That's what's creating the heat, is the light. So that light hits the center of this patch, okay, that I told you before is reflective in a crystal lattice structure like a mirror. Okay, so it's reflective like a mirror at a very specific frequency. Okay, so this took 10 years in the lab to come up with how to do this, turning on GHK copper peptide. Okay, so that is the difference. What GHK copper peptide does in the body, there is 50 years of research on GHK copper peptide. So the science around GHK copper peptide is very sound. Okay, it is not disputed. GHK copper peptide does a list of things in the body. I'm only going to talk to you about 5 that are truly remarkable because they are major body systems. Okay, there is a much longer list if you want to Google it, if you want to look up PubMed, you can see all the studies that are there. It is really and truly considered the fountain of youth. Absolutely amazing. So you can wear this patch technology anywhere on your body. It's totally fine. There are clinically tested spots, and if you want to wear them on there, you can. If you have a pain spot, I'm going to encourage you to put it on the pain spot, like wear it where there's an issue, because again, that infrared light comes out everywhere. So it will trigger and activate and turn on, like a light switch, turn on that frequency that will then tell GHK copper peptide to go and do what it was already designed to do in the body, just like we talked about vitamin D. So it is going to activate regenerative cells. GHK copper peptide, when you look at the research, it is going to turn on regenerative cells, which can go anywhere, become anything, do anything your body so deems necessary. It is your body that is the amazing resource. It is your body that was designed to regenerate and heal. It is your body that is doing all the work. This is just the light switch, like in your house, that turns on that electricity that goes to the light bulb, and then the electricity comes on and lights the way in your house. That's what this does, is it turns on that GHK copper peptide, and then it works the way that it was designed to do. It lights up your body. It lights up through your body. And that's why it's considered the fountain of youth, because if you can get regenerative cells up and working on your behalf, Anything is possible. So that's just one thing. Okay. That's just one thing that GHK copper peptide does in the body. The next thing I like to talk to people about is brain health. So if you look at one of our clinical studies, it's going to show you that over a 3-week period of time, watching brain inflammation come down through thermographic imaging of the brain. And so you could actually see that. So if you were to run your own test or go in to do your own thermographic imaging, even if you don't feel this technology working anywhere in your body, you could go and have a test like that done, and it would show you over, like I said, 3 weeks, 7 weeks period of time, you're going to see that inflammation coming down. Actually, it can be anywhere in your body. So that in particular study was done on the brain, but thermographic imaging you can have done of your entire body. So I just interviewed someone last week who was talking about how that's what they did. She'd actually done it a year prior and then brought them back, and all of her family was using the technology, and every single person in her family's inflammation in the upper torso is where they were running the thermography all came down. So that is going to happen. That's what GHK copper peptide does. That's how it works. It helps to support the brain in that way. So just think of, if your brain is clearer, you're going to think clearer. Brain fog is going to lift. You're able to reason better. You're able to remember things better. Even things like anxiety and depression, when people struggle with those, if you have that inflammation in your brain coming down, you can feel calmer. That could be a result of having that come down and just feeling better in your ability to think and process things. The third thing I talk about, that's 4. I'm not a mathematician and use my fingers very often. There's 3. The third thing is cardiovascular system. So your cardiovascular system obviously is that's the highest, issue that people have is cardiovascular disease. So to have support of your entire cardiovascular system at the mitochondrial level. So we're not just talking about supporting the heart, or supporting the blood vessels. We're literally talking about mitochondrial level across the board, the lining of the blood vessels, everything to help support that cardiovascular system. I see people have fantastic results with their heart over consistent use of time. Okay, this is very key to understand. If you cannot figure out how to wear this consistently, then your results are not going to be what you want them to be. Consistency is very important. So consistent use over time yields fantastic results in the area of cardiovascular health. So the fourth thing is your collagen. So most people just think collagen is hair, skin, and nails. It's not. It's actually the glue that holds your body together. So the ligaments, the tendons, the fascia, the cartilage, across the board, collagen helps us move, and the elasticity of our body and the movement in our muscles and everything working together. When you can elevate collagen and regenerative cells together, when you compare those together, it's one of the reasons we get such a wide range of people having all kinds of different results with this technology, is because it is being utilized across the board in every part of our body, which is what's so amazing. And collagen, the other thing you need to know is that you may notice it very quickly, within 3 to 6 weeks of your hair, skin, and nails, changes happening there. But really, to elevate your collagen properly across the board throughout your body, that takes 3 months. So when you're thinking about how long do I want to use this technology, or what kind of a chance do I want to give this technology to really see what it's going to do, you have to do much longer than just 3 months, because you don't even have, if you stop before 3 months, you've literally wasted your money. So I would just tell you, if you're not going to give this 6 to 12 months, don't even spend the money, because you need to give your body the ability, the time that it needs to be able to regenerate and do what it needs to do. So that's very, very important for you to think through. This is an investment in your health. That, like I said, I'm just talking about 5 ways and over $400+ of supplementation to support even the areas that I just told you. And then the 5th area is immune system. So think of all the supplements that we put in our body to try to help ourselves with our immune system, especially as we're moving into, things getting colder and people, seeming to get, more sicknesses and different things like that. And us not wanting to be that, we're usually, purchasing supplements to try to support our immune system in that way. So now it's you have the support within inside your body. Okay. Think about this for a second. So let's think about the difference between this patch technology, okay, and a supplement. All right. So when I put a supplement in my body, okay, there are multiple processes that supplement has to go through to actually do and get where the body needs to be able to use it. Okay. So I have to be able to digest that. I have to be able to break that product down. Okay. Number one, break it down properly. Okay. The next thing is that once I break it down, then it has to be picked up and taken. So carried, transported to where it needs to go. There can be breakdowns in our body for that. And then when it gets where it needs to go, it has to be able to be absorbed. Okay. There are so many people that are running around with mitochondrial dysfunction. So, the inability for your body to even absorb nutrients and for your mitochondria to work properly. All right. So, and then after it gets absorbed, it has to be used. Okay. So a lot of times with supplementation, they're looking for a 30% effectiveness rate. If they can get a 30% or higher effectiveness rate with a supplement, then they feel like they've done a good job. Okay. I'm talking to you about a technology that has a 96% effectiveness rate. Does this mean I don't want you to take supplements? No, I'm not saying that. Are there some supplements that you could potentially, do away with because of this technology? Absolutely. You need to figure that out with your doctor and talk to them about what's going to be the best, things to do, or do your research. Like, you become in charge of your own health. You accept the responsibility of being the one who's going to make the decisions as you research and learn and take, charge of your own health. That is so vitally important, especially in the day and age that we live in now. So having support across the board, those are just 5 things. Okay. The list is so very long. So like I said, you want to give this 6 to 12 months. If you have a list over here of aches, pains, illness, disease, medication, okay, for sure, 6 to 12 months. You got to give this time to where you're going to be going back in to do more blood work so that you can actually see it. So even if you don't feel the technology working for you, again, you need to remember 96% effectiveness rate. This is huge. You want to add to that. Electrolytes are super important. Electrolytes allow the body's cells to talk to each other, okay? And hydration, okay? So water and electrolytes. There are all kinds of great supplements on the market. We have an amazing one called Cellergize. What I love about this is that David Schmidt is so, he's just an absolute genius. So special formulation in a certain way to optimize the ability of the patch technology to work, but it's also giving you vital nutrients that you need across the board for your body just to work right anyway. So the magnesium, the potassium, it's giving you sea buckthorn extracts, so supporting the activity of your stem cells in your body as well as amino acids. So we need to build muscle. Muscle allows us to have better health when we have more muscle. And so allowing us to have those amino acids in there as well. So this combination is truly fantastic, as well as copper and zinc and the proper balance. A lot of times, that's the other thing, is that there are balances in the body with supplementation. And so everything that he's done here is in proper balance for us across the board for our health, but also to optimize the patch technology. This alone, if you were to buy everything that's in here, it would be $250. Okay. This you can get as low as $50. So for a 1 month supply. So that is truly remarkable and a fantastic price for what it's actually going to support you with. We do have our nighttime formula now as well that's helping people sleep better. So that is also there. You totally do not have to use those to use the patch technology. Just know that you are getting fantastic bang for your buck on being able to optimize your body across the board, as well as your investment that you're making in the patch technology. So just know about those products that we have as well. Hydration, like I said, will always be key. The best thing with hydration to do is to drink it, like 4 to 5 ounces every 15 to 30 minutes. And that just needs to be a daily process of what you're doing with your hydration. That will also reduce the amount of times that you have to run to the bathroom. It will also allow your body to be better hydrated throughout the day. Most people are walking around chronically dehydrated. If you will start to use this and use that method, then hydration should no longer be an issue for you, as well as that concern of worrying about running to the bathroom. That should also, within days or a week, that should subside, and you won't have that problem either if you start doing that in the morning and just do that every 15 to 30 minutes. You're just taking a big gulp of water. So what questions can I answer? If you can put them in the chat. You can unmute and ask your question. You can raise your hand. Whatever you all would like to do, I would love to answer your questions tonight. Anybody? Anybody want to tell a story of something that they've seen with the patch technology? I had a friend call me about her daughter. So that we started, she just has lots of just different, sleep issues and, really hard for her body just to be at rest. And she is noticing and again, that consistency was huge. Because she had kind of she's patching herself consistently, and she's seeing great results just in her energy and her body's ability to detoxify even. But then her daughter, she hadn't been real consistent with, and she finally got consistent. And within like a month and a half, so like 6 weeks, she is seeing her daughter feel like she came down. She told me she came down from getting up in the morning, getting ready to go to school. And she was just like, there was just, like slobber. Like she's like, I've seen so much drooling on someone's face. She's like, I knew she got a great night's sleep because I have never seen so much stuff my child's face before. So she's just seeing her be more calm, be more even. And that's huge. That makes a huge difference in the child's ability to think, to do schoolwork, to interact with friends, to listen to teachers, to be able to, listen to friends, to participate with what's going on, to hear coaches and do what coaches are asking you to do. So that is huge for a child that is struggling with, focusing and concentrating, and just not getting, good sleep at night. So I was just, praising the Lord because I was just so thankful. And that's the biggest thing that I think I see with people is avoiding or not taking seriously the ability to be consistent and what that can do for you. So it just makes all the difference in the world. So anybody else want to come on? Diane, yes, ma'am.
I have a question. Somewhere I read or saw that when I take my X39 off at night, I can put it on my cat. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I patched my cat the other day and I actually did use a new one, just because he yeah, we see it's not terrible. It's a he. He was limping and so, yeah, so I just put a brand new one on him and he was fine within the next day. So yeah, you can use your used one. My cats are outdoor cats. So that was the other thing. I didn't think mine was going to stick well enough, because they like to lick and do all that kind of stuff. But even if you just do it every day, use your patch, on your cat, you can totally do that. You're going to find it, around the house. Like, of course, mine are outdoors. So who knows, there's a patch, in the environment somewhere. But you'll find them around the house because they will, lick and scratch and clean themselves and get it off. But yeah.
I had a long-term exposure to mold and the cat was there too. So I, have done a lot of holistic stuff and I was on oxygen for 8 months.
Oh, wow.
But I did nothing for the cat and she's different. Her whole demeanor is different, but I want to see if this would help too, because she's still.
Oh, absolutely. It's so worth it, right? I mean, does your cat have a collar?
No, but I put a harness on her.
Okay. Yeah. So you can just put it underneath the harness. Yeah. So that's perfect. I would do that every day. I totally would. Yes. On all animals. It works great on all animals. So
thank you.
Absolutely.
I was going to say that because we put it on the pug. We put it on our pug and she's great, but we put it on the collar. So if you're using your old ones, you can also use tape, medical grade tape, and just tape the patch on.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. Another great idea. Yeah.
Hi, Ni-
Yes.
Hi, Nikki.
Yes.
It's Bonnie Muller. Hi.
Hi, Bonnie. So glad
Hi.
you're here.
Me too. My dog ended up getting scratched. I have a little Maltese, got scratched in the cornea by my cat.
Mm.
Horrific, horrific, horrific. And about a week into it, maybe 2 weeks into it, because it was really serious case, I started patching him with an Aeon on the top of his head, an x39 in the back of his head down further, and a carnosine above that eye. I can't tell you the difference it's making in this dog's eyes. And
Wow.
the doctor saw the patches. He said, "What is that?" I said, the one he saw was a carnosine. And it's like he knew all about it already. He didn't question it any further. And it's okay to keep doing it, because this dog's eye is really, really coming along beautifully.
Ah,
And yeah, and
that's awesome.
yeah. So I can't get over it. I just can't get
Yeah.
over the difference. Very
Yes. Oh,
exciting.
good. I'm so
Yeah.
glad. Yes,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
We thought he was going to lose his eye. That's how bad it was.
Oh, wow.
Two
Yeah.
ophthalmologist doctors later, and an emergency, and the whole 9 yards. But
Oh
it's
my goodness, yes. Yes. My mother-in-law, her husband is a veterinarian. And so
Mhm.
I text him and I was like, because my cat had us, because we put him in the garage normally at night. And I have 3 stray cats as well that I feed. So they're always at my house too. And I
Mhm.
think he fights with them, and he, who knows
Right.
what else he's out there fighting with. So he had like this big red mark, and so I
Mhm.
text him and I was like, what is this? And so he's like, well, you need to take your cat. I'm so sorry. See, I'm not one that's going to spend. I mean, I got my cats for a purpose because I didn't want to have snakes. So I have a creek in the back and I don't want snakes in my house. So the cats have a purpose in my house. So he's like, you need to take your cat and he needs to get he needs to get an antibiotic, just to make
Mhm.
sure it doesn't get an infection. I'm like, the patch on that cat, and I'm going to pray that he is going to be totally fine. And he has been. Like, his face looks fine, and and then I was worried like the infection went to his leg, because that's when his leg hurt, and so I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to put patches on my cat. I need to just stop thinking about it and do it. So, but now he's fine, so I
That's
just
great.
patched him up.
That's great. No,
Yeah.
unfortunately, with what was going on with his eye, I couldn't just patch that. There's no
Right.
way.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I can't even imagine. I grew up on a farm, so like things have
No.
purposes. So I even though like I'm like, worried about them, I'm all worried about them, but I'm like, okay, like they have a purpose to do, and I don't want to
Mhm.
spend a bunch of money on
Right.
my animals. So yes, I know that sounds terrible, but
But
that's just
it's
me.
wonderful that we can put these patches on our animals. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's
It-
huge, right? Because otherwise, yeah, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have the patches to be able to use on them too. So,
Exactly.
yes,
Yeah. So we're lucky. We're very
that's right. Very fortunate. That's exactly right. And Pastor Ed, did you want to come on still?
I just wanted to say we had a neighbor across the street that has a big tumor, I guess, bump on her shoulder, and she could hardly walk or stand up. And what we did is neighbor's dog. I'm sorry,
Oh,
not a person.
Clarification is good. Yes.
So I asked her how she's doing, and she said Ronnie's doing really good. She's walking around, and we see her around just without pain. She still got the big ball tumor on her side, but she is using our used patches. We gave her a whole bag of them, probably like thousands of patches in it, and she gives her 3 a day. So it's really cool. That's all.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. Yes. All right. Well, we are at time. Did anybody have one more thing? And we will shut her down.
No, I just think that this was a good vet call.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yes. Yes, please don't tell my my mother-in-law's husband. Don't tell him that I didn't actually take my cat into the vet. Yes, I'll be in trouble. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Just thank you for taking 30 minutes out of your schedule. Please make sure that you get back with the person that invited you to the call tonight and just tell them you're ready to get started. Don't wait. Like, rearrange it in your schedule, in your finances to be able to start this technology now. The list of benefits for your health are very, very long. So thank you all so much again tonight. We pray blessing over each and every one of you. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good
Nick.
night. God bless.
Night.
God bless.